Think about it. Your joints aren't lifeless hinges. They're alive, built of cartilage, collagen, connective tissue that grows and breaks down like every other part of you. And collagen, the very protein that keeps your knees bending and your hips turning, isn't just something your body magically maintains forever. It needs fuel. It needs building blocks. When those blocks aren't there, cracks appear. The cushioning wears thin. The inflammation builds. And what you feel as stiffness and swelling is really your body crying out for support. Yet instead of being told to feed your body what it needs, you're offered pills, creams, and surgeries, all chasing symptoms, none solving the root. Here's the contradiction. The repair your body is desperate for doesn't come from a pharmacy. It comes from your kitchen. And not from expensive supplements or powders either, but from simple, everyday foods. Foods your grandparents ate without thinking. Foods you've probably walked past in the store. Foods that quietly contain the collagen-building compounds your body has been missing. Science has been clear on this for years. Certain vegetables are packed with the amino acids, antioxidants, and minerals that stimulate your body's own collagen production. They don't just mask pain. They help rebuild the scaffolding inside your joints. They keep the cushions soft. They keep the springs tight. They help you stand, walk, climb, and bend with the freedom you thought was gone forever. But here's what's truly shocking. Most seniors are starving themselves of these exact foods. Not because they lack appetite, but because the modern diet pushes them away. Processed meals replace fresh vegetables. Convenience replaces tradition. Quick bites replace nutrient-dense meals. And slowly, silently, your body begins to lose the very tools it needs to protect you. That's why swelling and stiff joints feel like aging, because almost everyone is missing the same essential repairs. But when you restore these foods, when you fuel your body with what it's been craving, the changes are dramatic. Not just less swelling, not just fewer aches, but better balance, more energy, a steadier step, the feeling of control returning. So listen closely. Today we'll count down 8 everyday foods that rebuild joints from the inside out. These aren't exotic ingredients. They aren't locked behind health fads or expensive trends. They're humble, simple, and often overlooked, yet powerful enough to change how you walk, how you stand, how you feel. Each one has been studied, each one has proof, and each one offers a piece of the repair your body has been begging for. And the best part? You don't need to wait months to feel it. Add these foods to your daily life and your body will begin repairing itself almost immediately. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming independence. It's about keeping the freedom to walk to your mailbox without pain, to climb into your car without wincing, to play with your grandchildren without holding your breath in discomfort. Every food on this list is a step toward that freedom. Some will surprise you, foods you never connected with joints and collagen. Others will remind you of traditions you've left behind. But together, they form a map back to strength, back to mobility, back to a life where swelling doesn't rule your days. And I'll warn you now, the number one food on this list is the one you least expect. You've probably brushed it off your plate without a second thought, never realizing it's one of the most powerful allies your joints could ever have. By the time we get there, you'll understand why so many seniors suffer unnecessarily, and why so many could change their lives simply by making a different choice at the dinner table. So as we begin this countdown, remember the truth you were never told. Stiff joints aren't a sentence, swelling isn't destiny, and pain isn't permanent. They're signs. Signs your body is starving for repair, and the answer is simpler than you've ever been told. Stay with me, because these 8 foods may change the way you move for the rest of your life. Swelling steals more than comfort. It steals independence. Every time you feel that sharp throb in your knee or that dull ache in your hips, it isn't just pain. It's a signal that your body is struggling to keep up. For many, it begins small. A little stiffness in the morning, a hesitation before bending down, a slow shuffle instead of a firm stride. But left unchecked, those small signs turn into something bigger, something heavier. Before you realize it, the swelling limits your world. Stairs become battles. Long walks turn into impossible challenges. Even standing at the kitchen counter feels like punishment, and with every step you avoid, with every movement you put off, your strength fades a little more. That's the urgency no one talks about. When your joints hurt, you don't just lose mobility, you lose moments. The chance to play with your grandkids, the freedom to garden without fear of collapsing, the ability to get up from your chair without someone rushing to help. Independence slips away, not all at once, but piece by piece. What was once easy becomes a question. Can I manage this today? And too often, the answer is no. That erosion of freedom doesn't just weigh on your body, it eats at your spirit. Because deep down you know the truth. Once independence is gone, it rarely comes back. And yet, instead of being told how to fight the root cause, you've been told to chase shadows. Every year, billions are poured into creams, pills, and quick fixes that promise relief, but deliver little more than temporary numbness. Painkillers dull the ache but never rebuild what's broken. Creams warm the skin but don't restore the cartilage beneath. Even expensive injections can feel like buying time instead of solving the problem. The system profits from your pain, offering short-term relief while ignoring the one thing your body actually needs: repair. And repair doesn't come from the outside in, it comes from the inside out. But here's the contradiction. While the shelves fill with products, while advertisements bombard you with miracle cures, the answer sits quietly in the produce aisle. Simple vegetables, the kind our ancestors ate without question, carry within them the nutrients your body is crying out for. Collagen doesn't come in a magic pill. It comes from supporting your body's ability to make it naturally. It comes from foods rich in vitamin C, antioxidants, and specific amino acids that trigger your body to rebuild itself. The urgency is clear. Every day you wait, the damage compounds. Every week without these nutrients, swelling and stiffness dig deeper. Think about it this way. Your body is like a house. If the roof is leaking, you can mop the floor every day, but the water will keep pouring in until you fix the roof. Painkillers and creams are mops. Food is the repair, and the longer you ignore the roof, the greater the damage becomes. Eventually, the foundation weakens, the walls crumble, and the whole structure collapses. That's what ignoring your body's need for repair does. It accelerates decline, and it leaves you trapped in a cycle of pain management instead of freedom. The numbers are stark. Studies show that after 60, nearly half of adults struggle with some form of mobility limitation. For many, the trigger isn't catastrophic injury. It's the slow erosion of joint health, and once that decline sets in, it creates a spiral. Pain leads to inactivity. Inactivity weakens muscles. Weak muscles strain joints even more. And swollen, stiff joints lead to falls, hospital visits, and loss of independence. It's a chain reaction that can start with something as small as avoiding a walk because your knees ache. That skipped walk becomes a skipped week, then a skipped year. Before long, the body forgets how to move the way it once did. But here's the part you need to hear. This decline is not inevitable. Yes, age makes repair slower, but it does not stop it. What stops it is neglect, the absence of the raw materials your body needs. Every joint in your body is like a construction site. Without bricks, mortar, and workers, nothing gets fixed. With the right supplies, even old buildings can be restored. Your joints are no different. They aren't beyond saving. They are waiting for what you feed them. So why is this message ignored? Because repair doesn't make billions. Relief does. Pills can be sold month after month. Injections can be billed every season. But the foods that rebuild you, they don't carry a profit margin. They don't need glossy ads or celebrity endorsements. They grow quietly in the soil, waiting to be picked, cooked, and eaten. And that silence is why so many seniors suffer unnecessarily. They've been convinced that solutions must come from bottles, not from bowls. The stakes couldn't be higher. This isn't just about avoiding pain. It's about reclaiming life. Think of all the things pain steals: the walk through the park, the Sunday mornings at church, the simple joy of bending to tie your shoes without groaning. These are not luxuries. They are the threads that weave your independence, your dignity, your happiness. And when swelling and stiffness take them, it isn't just your body that hurts. It's your spirit. That loss is what drives so many into despair, into giving up. But you don't have to give up. The urgency is now. Every day you continue without repair, the damage deepens. Every day you rely only on symptom chasing, your independence drifts further away. But every day you choose to nourish your body with the right foods, you turn the tide, you slow the decline, you rebuild what's broken, you reclaim steps, minutes, moments that pain tried to steal. That's the choice before you: decline or independence, pills or repair, waiting or acting. Today you'll learn the 8 foods that could be the difference between shuffling with help or striding on your own, between living with constant fear of the next fall and living with confidence in every step, between decline and freedom. And once you know them, you'll never look at your plate the same way again. I've seen too many seniors lose mobility, not because of age, but because their bodies lacked what they needed. I've watched neighbors, friends, even family go from walking freely to shuffling slowly, from gardening in the sun to sitting indoors, from vibrant independence to relying on others for the simplest tasks. And in nearly every case, it wasn't because the clock had run out on them. It was because their bodies were running on empty, empty of the building blocks that keep joints supple, empty of the nutrients that fight swelling, empty of the foods that make repair possible. I've lived long enough to know what real decline looks like, and I can tell you with certainty, the difference between thriving in your 70s and struggling in your 60s isn't always about years. It's about fuel. When you fuel the body, it remembers how to move. When you starve it, it begins to wither. That truth is both sobering and empowering. Sobering because it shows how many people suffer needlessly. Empowering because it means the choice is still in your hands. Science backs this up. Researchers have studied communities where seniors live longer, healthier lives, and the pattern is always the same. They eat differently. They don't depend on processed foods or supplements. They rely on plants, vegetables, herbs, and roots rich in compounds the body uses to maintain collagen, reduce inflammation, and keep tissues elastic. These aren't secrets hidden in labs. They're simple practices passed down through generations. In Japan, elders eat a wide variety of vegetables daily, not because someone told them it was trendy, but because it was tradition. In the Mediterranean, herbs and greens are woven into meals as naturally as bread or water. And in every place where mobility lasts well into old age, food is medicine. I say this not as theory, but as lived truth. I've seen with my own eyes what happens when someone changes their diet. A friend of mine in his late 70s had nearly given up on walking without a cane. His knees were swollen, his ankles stiff, and every step was a struggle. Doctors gave him creams, pills, even hinted at surgery. Nothing gave him more than fleeting relief. Then he shifted his meals. More leafy greens, more collagen-building vegetables, fewer processed shortcuts. Within months, his stride changed. His pain eased. His independence began to return. No miracle, no magic, just feeding his body what it had been begging for. That's the wisdom I carry, and it's why I'm telling you this now. The answer isn't complicated. It isn't locked behind medical jargon or expensive treatments. It's simple, it's doable, and it's within reach every time you walk into your kitchen or step into a market. Too often, people believe change requires gyms, programs, or discipline beyond their capacity. But when it comes to your joints, the most powerful repair tool is already on your plate. You don't need equipment, you don't need a personal trainer, you don't need a bank account stretched thin by supplements. You need vegetables, real, whole, nutrient-rich foods that the body recognizes and uses like spare parts in a repair shop. Let me reassure you, this isn't about overhauling your entire life. You don't need to transform your diet overnight or live on nothing but salads. What matters is adding in, step by step, the foods that give your joints what they crave. Start with one new vegetable, one new habit, one small choice, and you'll feel the difference. Over time, those small choices add up to something profound: less swelling, greater flexibility, a steadier step. The science explains why. Certain vegetables are rich in vitamin C, which stimulates collagen production. Others are packed with antioxidants, which fight the inflammation that stiffens and swells joints. Still others contain minerals like magnesium and manganese, crucial for bone and tissue health. It's not guesswork, it's biology. Your body is constantly rebuilding itself, but it can only build with the materials it has. Give it the right supplies, and it knows exactly what to do. That's why this works for anyone, at any age. Even if you've lived decades with pain, even if you think it's too late, your body can still respond. Because the design of the human body is resilient, forgiving, and ready to repair when given the chance. I speak calmly because I want you to hear this without fear. Yes, the stakes are high. Yes, swelling and stiffness can steal your freedom. But no, you are not powerless. You are not destined to decline without hope. This is simple. This is doable. And I know it because I've lived it, I've seen it, and I've shared it with others who've changed their lives with nothing more than food. Don't underestimate the power of small shifts. Too often, people believe the only answers are dramatic ones: surgery, medication, or complete lifestyle upheaval. But the truth is, your body doesn't need drama. It needs consistency. It needs daily fuel, quiet repair, the kind of steady nourishment that builds strength over time. That's what these 8 foods represent. Not a crash fix, but a steady path back to mobility, back to confidence, back to independence. Think about it this way. Every meal is a choice. Every plate is an opportunity. You can choose food that inflames, food that numbs, food that robs you of nutrients, or you can choose food that repairs, food that strengthens, food that gives you the raw materials for freedom. And the best part? That choice is yours every single day. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. You only need to remember that your body is capable of more than you've been told. I've seen too many seniors lose mobility not because of their age, but because they were never shown the truth. They were told decline was natural, pain was destiny, stiffness was the price of living long. But I'm here to tell you, that's not destiny. That's neglect. And the moment you stop neglecting your body, the moment you begin feeding it what it has been missing, the path to repair begins. So let me assure you, this is not beyond your reach. These are simple foods you already know, foods you can find without searching, foods you can prepare without effort. They don't require a new routine, only a new perspective. Because once you see food as fuel for repair, once you understand that every bite can either steal your independence or protect it, you'll never look at your plate the same way again. And that's where we begin, not with fear, but with hope, not with decline, but with repair. Because I've seen too many lives change when people finally learn this truth. The body can heal at any age when you give it what it needs. Number 8, zucchini, the humble green repair tool. Zucchini is one of those foods that most people walk past in the grocery store. It looks plain, unremarkable, maybe something you'd grill in the summer or stir into a soup. But here's the shock. Zucchini is one of the quietest, most efficient joint-repairing vegetables you can eat. It doesn't get the attention of leafy greens or the reputation of superfoods, but inside its pale green flesh are compounds that directly support collagen production and reduce inflammation. The secret lies in its balance. Zucchini is packed with vitamin C, one of the most critical nutrients for collagen synthesis. Without vitamin C, your body can't assemble the fibers that keep joints cushioned. Think of it like trying to build a rope without any glue. The strands fall apart. Vitamin C is that glue, and zucchini delivers it in a gentle, steady way. But that's not all. Zucchini is also incredibly hydrating, with a water content of over 90%. Swollen joints often worsen when the body is dehydrated because fluids can't circulate properly. Eating zucchini is like delivering water directly into your tissues, keeping them flexible and reducing stiffness. And here's where the science gets even more interesting. Zucchini contains antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin, typically talked about for eye health, but also important for protecting joint tissues from oxidative stress. Think of oxidative stress as tiny sparks that slowly burn away your cartilage. Antioxidants act like water, putting those sparks out before they spread. That means less damage, less swelling, and more protection. Practical tip: zucchini is best eaten lightly cooked, steaming, or quick sautéing to preserve its vitamin C content. Avoid boiling it for too long, as water-soluble vitamins can leach out. A simple way to add zucchini to your daily routine is slicing it into rounds, drizzling a bit of olive oil, and roasting until golden. You can also spiralize it into noodles and swap it for pasta. Another powerful method? Grating it raw into salads, where it blends seamlessly with other vegetables while delivering hydration and antioxidants. Surprising bonus tip: keep the skin on. The thin green skin is where many of the antioxidants are concentrated. Too often, people peel zucchini and throw away the very part that contains the compounds their joints are craving. So the next time you see this overlooked vegetable, don't dismiss it as boring. Recognize it as one of the simplest, cheapest ways to give your body the tools for repair. Number 7. Beetroot, the circulation booster that feeds your joints. Now let's move to something that grabs attention the moment you see it: beetroot. Deep red, almost glowing, this root has been used for centuries to strengthen the body. But here's the shock. Beets don't just support your heart and blood pressure, they directly impact the health of your joints by fueling circulation and delivering oxygen where it's needed most. One of the biggest hidden problems behind stiff, swollen joints is poor blood flow. When circulation slows, nutrients don't reach the cartilage, toxins don't clear out, and the repair process grinds to a halt. Beets solve that problem by providing natural nitrates, compounds that the body converts into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide relaxes blood vessels, allowing blood to flow more freely. More blood flow means more oxygen and more nutrients delivered to aching joints. Think of it as opening clogged highways so repair trucks can finally reach the construction site. Science shows that beetroot juice can improve endurance, stamina, and circulation even in older adults. That's why athletes drink it before competitions. But for seniors, the benefits go beyond performance. It means oxygen and collagen-building compounds can actually reach the damaged tissues in your knees, hips, and ankles. That circulation not only fuels repair, but also helps flush out the inflammatory byproducts that build up in stiff joints. Beets are also loaded with betalains, powerful pigments that give them their vibrant color. These pigments are anti-inflammatory agents that target swelling directly. They work on the same pathways that many pain medications target, but without the side effects. Instead of numbing the pain, betalains calm the fire. And because they're plant-based compounds, your body knows exactly how to use them. Practical tip: beets can be eaten roasted, boiled, or raw. Roasting concentrates their sweetness while preserving their antioxidants. Slice them thin, toss with olive oil, and roast until caramelized for a side dish that feels indulgent but works as medicine. You can also grate them raw into salads for a crunchy, nutrient-dense topping. Beet juice is another powerful option. Just half a cup daily can improve circulation significantly. If you find the flavor too strong, blend it with apples or carrots to soften the earthiness. Surprising bonus tip: don't throw away the beet greens. The leafy tops are edible and contain even more vitamin K and calcium than the roots, both essential for bone strength and joint stability. Sauté them with garlic and olive oil as you would spinach, and you'll get double the benefits in one vegetable. Zucchini and beets may seem worlds apart. One pale and unassuming, the other bold and dramatic. But together, they illustrate a truth about joint repair. The foods that protect and rebuild your body don't always announce themselves with flashy labels or marketing campaigns. Sometimes they hide in plain sight, waiting for you to recognize their power. One hydrates, provides gentle antioxidants, and fuels collagen directly. The other boosts circulation, clears inflammation, and floods your joints with oxygen. Both are simple, inexpensive, and available in every grocery store. And this is just the beginning. We've started at number 8 and 7, but the foods ahead become even more powerful, even more surprising. Because while zucchini and beets prepare the ground, hydrating tissues, improving blood flow, the next foods on this list go even deeper, directly building the scaffolding that keeps your joints strong and flexible. If you thought these two were impressive, wait until you hear what's next. Number 6, carrots, the orange shield for your joints. Carrots are often thought of as food for the eyes, but here's the surprise. They are also one of the strongest defenders of your joints. Those bright orange roots are packed with beta-carotene, a precursor to vitamin A, which doesn't just protect your vision. It shields your joints from inflammatory damage. Inflammation is like rust creeping through metal, slowly corroding the tissues that hold your body together. Beta-carotene acts as a rust-proofing agent, neutralizing the free radicals that accelerate this process. Science confirms that diets rich in carotenoids, the pigment family carrots belong to, reduce markers of inflammation in the blood. For joints, that means less swelling, fewer flare-ups, and smoother motion. But carrots don't stop there. They also provide a good dose of fiber, which regulates blood sugar. Why does that matter? Because spikes in blood sugar are linked to higher levels of inflammation, a hidden trigger for joint pain. By keeping sugar steady, carrots indirectly keep your joints calm. Practical tip: eat carrots raw for maximum crunch and vitamin potency, or steam them lightly to release more antioxidants. Pair them with a little healthy fat, like olive oil or hummus, to boost absorption of beta-carotene. Try adding shredded carrots into soups, salads, or even baking for a sweet, joint-friendly boost. Surprising bonus tip: purple carrots exist, and they contain anthocyanins, the same pigments found in blueberries, offering an additional layer of anti-inflammatory power. If you see them at your store or farmer's market, grab them. Number 5. Red cabbage, the purple powerhouse for inflammation. When you think of cabbage, you probably imagine a bland side dish. But red cabbage is a completely different story. Its vibrant purple hue comes from anthocyanins, powerful compounds proven to reduce inflammation at the cellular level. These are the same compounds found in dark berries, but in red cabbage, you get them in a crunchy, versatile vegetable that also strengthens connective tissues. The shock here is that red cabbage has been linked to stronger legs. In fact, diets rich in anthocyanins are associated with up to 40% greater leg strength in older adults. That means this humble vegetable isn't just protecting your joints. It's actively helping you stand, walk, and climb with more confidence. For seniors, that's not just a statistic. That's the difference between independence and dependence. Red cabbage is also rich in vitamin K, a key nutrient for bone health. Without it, calcium can't bind properly, and bones weaken. Strong bones paired with calm joints mean a body that can carry you further, longer, and with less pain. Practical tip: eat red cabbage raw in salads or slaws to preserve its vitamin C and anthocyanins. Cooking can reduce some antioxidants, but a quick stir-fry can still deliver benefits. Add a squeeze of lemon juice when preparing it. The acidity helps preserve its vibrant color and nutrient profile. Surprising bonus tip: fermenting red cabbage into sauerkraut doesn't just preserve its nutrients, it adds probiotics, which improve gut health and reduce systemic inflammation. Another hidden trigger for joint pain. Number 4. Brussels sprouts, the mini green giants. Few vegetables divide opinion like Brussels sprouts, but here's the truth. They are among the most powerful joint protectors you can eat. These small, leafy orbs are loaded with glucosinolates, compounds that break down into substances shown to fight inflammation and even protect cartilage from degradation. Think of them as miniature repair kits, actively slowing the breakdown of the very tissues that keep your joints cushioned. Science shows that cruciferous vegetables, the family Brussels sprouts belong to, are linked to lower levels of inflammatory markers in the blood. That translates to less swelling, more flexibility, and greater resilience in the joints. But Brussels sprouts have another hidden advantage. They're high in vitamin K and folate, which together strengthen bones and support tissue repair. That combination makes them a complete package for seniors who want not just less pain, but more strength. Practical tip: roast Brussels sprouts with a drizzle of olive oil until they caramelize. This brings out their sweetness and makes them far more palatable. You can also shred them raw into salads, mixing with lemon and nuts for a crunchy, nutrient-packed dish. Surprising bonus tip: pairing Brussels sprouts with balsamic vinegar doesn't just taste good. The acidity helps unlock more antioxidants, making them even more effective. Number 3. Spinach, the brain and joint protector. Spinach is a classic superfood, but what many don't realize is just how directly it impacts joint health. Loaded with vitamin C, magnesium, and plant-based compounds called lutein and zeaxanthin, spinach works on 2 levels. It calms inflammation in your joints and protects your brain at the same time. That's right. This leafy green isn't just about physical movement, it's about mental sharpness too. The shock is how potent spinach is at preserving mobility. Studies show that diets high in magnesium, one of spinach's key minerals, reduce the risk of arthritis symptoms dramatically. Magnesium helps regulate muscle contractions, easing stiffness and cramping, while also reducing the body's inflammatory response. On top of that, spinach's lutein and zeaxanthin protect against oxidative stress, which wears down cartilage just as it damages eyes and skin. But the most surprising benefit? Regular spinach eaters show better leg strength and balance compared to those who rarely touch greens. That's not just theory, that's independence measured in every step you take. Practical tip: spinach is best absorbed when paired with a healthy fat. Toss it in a salad with avocado or sauté it lightly in olive oil to maximize its nutrients. Frozen spinach is nearly as good as fresh, so keep it on hand to add into soups, stews, or smoothies. Surprising bonus tip: don't cook spinach too long. Overheating can strip its vitamin C. A light wilt is enough to soften the leaves while preserving their joint-protecting compounds. Carrot shield, cabbage strengthens, Brussels sprouts protect cartilage, and spinach restores. Together, these 4 vegetables form a midpoint in the countdown that proves just how powerful food can be. Each one is easy to find, affordable, and versatile, yet most people don't realize the medicine they're ignoring. But as strong as these foods are, the next 2 on this list go even further. Because they don't just protect your joints, they rebuild them in ways that scientists are only beginning to understand. Stay with me, because number 2 may be the most shocking of all. Number 3, Romanesco, the strange spiral of strength. At first glance, Romanesco looks like something from another planet. Its fractal spirals catch the eye, but most people pass it by in the store, unsure of what to do with it. That's the shock. This uncommon vegetable is one of the most concentrated sources of joint-protecting compounds you'll ever find. Part of the same cruciferous family as broccoli and cauliflower, Romanesco combines the best qualities of both: high vitamin C for collagen repair and strong antioxidants to battle inflammation. Science shows cruciferous vegetables contain sulforaphane, a compound proven to slow the breakdown of cartilage in joints. Imagine a brake pedal pressed down on the process of arthritis. That's what sulforaphane does. And Romanesco, with its delicate nutty flavor, is packed with it. For seniors, that means less stiffness, slower decline, and more freedom of movement. But Romanesco has another secret. Its unusual structure signals a dense concentration of minerals like zinc and magnesium, both critical for tissue repair and bone strength. Zinc is often overlooked, yet it's essential for healing. Without it, cuts take longer to close, tissues take longer to mend, and joints take longer to recover. Magnesium, meanwhile, relaxes muscles and reduces cramping, easing the tension that worsens joint pain. Practical tip: Romanesco can be steamed, roasted, or eaten raw. Its flavor is milder than broccoli, making it an easy substitute in most dishes. Try roasting florets with olive oil and garlic for a side dish, or steaming lightly to preserve vitamin C. Don't discard the stems. Peel and slice them thinly, as they contain just as many nutrients as the florets. Surprising bonus tip: Romanesco's sulforaphane content is highest when it's lightly steamed, not boiled. Overcooking destroys the very compounds your joints crave. A short steam preserves its healing power. Number 2, fresh herbs, the hidden healers on your plate. Now for the shocker. The food most people think of as mere garnish is actually one of the most powerful joint-protecting categories you can eat. Fresh herbs, parsley, cilantro, basil, dill, aren't just flavor enhancers. They're concentrated medicine, hiding in plain sight. Here's the science. Fresh herbs are among the richest sources of polyphenols and flavonoids, plant compounds that calm inflammation at its root. They don't just dull the pain, they go into the pathways that trigger swelling and shut them down. For someone with aching knees or stiff hands, that's like turning off the faucet that keeps flooding your joints. Parsley, for example, is loaded with vitamin K, critical for bone strength and stability. Cilantro has compounds that help the body detoxify heavy metals, which can contribute to chronic inflammation. Basil contains eugenol, a natural anti-inflammatory agent that works similarly to some painkillers. but without the side effects. Dill soothes digestion, reducing systemic inflammation that often worsens joint pain indirectly. The emotional impact here is clear. For years, many seniors have relied on creams, pills, or even surgeries, never realizing that sprinkling a handful of herbs into their meals could provide daily natural relief. It's not flashy, it's not marketed, but it's powerful. And once you realize the strength of these plants, you'll never look at them the same way again. Practical tip: use herbs generously, not just as decoration. Add parsley into salads by the handful, blend cilantro into sauces, scatter basil over cooked vegetables, or mix dill into yogurt for a healing dip. The more fresh herbs you consume, the greater the anti-inflammatory effect. Surprising bonus tip: chopping herbs releases their oils, which contain the highest concentration of active compounds. Don't just tear a leaf and place it on top of food. Chop finely or crush lightly to unlock their medicinal power. Romanesco, the strange green spiral, and fresh herbs, the overlooked garnishes, prove something powerful. Sometimes the most unusual and underestimated foods are the ones with the greatest healing impact. Romanesco slows cartilage breakdown with sulforaphane, while herbs flood your body with plant medicine strong enough to rival pharmaceuticals. Both are easy to ignore, one because it looks unfamiliar, the other because it looks too ordinary, yet both hold the power to transform aching joints into resilient ones. And if these surprised you, just wait. Because the number one food on this list isn't rare, strange, or decorative. It's something you probably already know, something hiding in plain sight, and yet its effect on your joints is so profound that doctors are now calling it a predictor of how long you'll stay mobile. This is the climax of the countdown, the food that changes everything. Number 1. Watercress, the overlooked superleaf that saves your mobility. This is it, the most underestimated ingredient of them all. Not exotic, not expensive, not marketed with flashy labels, just a simple leafy green that most people ignore, push aside, or treat as garnish: watercress. And yet watercress may be the single most powerful food you can add to your diet if you want to keep your joints strong, your legs steady, and your independence intact. Here's the dramatic truth: the food you've brushed off your plate for years may be the very one that saves your mobility. Watercress is a cruciferous vegetable, part of the same family as kale and broccoli, but it surpasses them in nutrient density. According to the CDC, watercress ranks at the very top of their list of powerhouse fruits and vegetables, scoring higher than spinach, chard, or even kale. That means bite for bite, watercress delivers more of the vitamins and minerals that directly repair and protect your joints. Let's talk numbers. A single cup of watercress has more than 100% of your daily vitamin K requirement, the critical nutrient that guides calcium into your bones and keeps them strong. Without vitamin K, calcium drifts aimlessly, calcifying where it doesn't belong, in arteries, in joints, while bones grow weaker. Watercress solves that. It also delivers vitamin C for collagen production, vitamin A for tissue repair, and iron for oxygen transport, all in one low-calorie, easily digestible package. But here's the surprising part. Watercress contains unique compounds called isothiocyanates, which reduce inflammation and protect cartilage from wear and tear. Studies show that these compounds not only calm joint swelling, but also slow the enzymatic processes that break cartilage down in the first place. Think of it as building a shield over your joints, protecting them from the daily grind of time. The emotional payoff here is huge. For decades, many seniors have believed the decline of their joints was inevitable, a natural part of aging. But watercress stands as living proof that small daily choices can reverse that narrative. Imagine being able to climb stairs without clutching a railing, bend down to tie your shoes without pain, or go for a walk without the shadow of swelling chasing you. That's what this simple, overlooked leaf can offer. Practical tip: watercress is best eaten raw, added to salads, sandwiches, or blended into smoothies. Its peppery flavor pairs beautifully with eggs, soups, and even roasted vegetables. Unlike kale, it doesn't need to be massaged or softened. It's tender and ready to eat. If you prefer a gentler flavor, try mixing it with milder greens like spinach or romaine. Surprising bonus tip: Watercress grows best in water-rich environments, and its freshness matters. The closer to harvest you eat it, the more potent its nutrients. If you can find locally grown watercress at a farmer's market, grab it. Its vitamin and antioxidant levels will be significantly higher than anything that's sat on a shelf for days. Think about it this way. Expensive supplements come in bottles, marketed as miracle cures. But the strongest supplement for your joints may already be sitting in the produce aisle, disguised as something ordinary. Watercress doesn't just decorate your plate. It builds your bones, it shields your joints, it restores your mobility. The countdown began with zucchini and beets, moved through carrots, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, and spinach, and shocked you with Romanesco and herbs. But it ends here, with watercress, the quiet green that outperforms them all. The lesson is clear. The road to stronger joints isn't paved with pills or expensive treatments. It's built on choices you make every day at the table, and sometimes the smallest, humblest choice, like adding a handful of watercress to your lunch, can change the course of your health. Because the truth is, mobility isn't just about walking. It's about freedom, dignity, and living life on your terms. And for many, that freedom may just begin with this overlooked leaf. Your body can repair itself if you give it the right fuel. That's the message I want to leave with you. Too many people believe that once the swelling starts, once the stiffness sets in, there's nothing left to do but accept decline. But that's not the truth. I've seen it with my own eyes. I remember a neighbor, well into her late 70s, who struggled for years with swollen knees. She tried creams, pills, even injections, but nothing seemed to last. Then she made one simple change. She began adding more fresh vegetables to her meals. At first it was small: roasted beets with dinner, a few leaves of spinach in her eggs, a handful of watercress in her soup. Within months, she wasn't just eating better, she was moving better. The swelling that had kept her from walking to the corner store was gone. Her strength returned, her balance steadied, and with it came something even more precious: her independence. That's what this is about. Not just food, not just nutrients, but freedom. The ability to stand on your own, to walk where you please, to live life without being chained by pain. And it doesn't require expensive diets or exotic superfoods. It's right there in your kitchen, waiting for you to take it seriously. Someone you know is suffering from swelling right now. Someone you care about is quietly battling stiff joints, silently losing their mobility. Don't keep this to yourself. Send them this message. Share it with them. Because you never know. It might be the very thing that saves their strength, their independence, even their life. The choice is in your hands, and the time is now. Fuel your body the way it was meant to be fueled, and watch as it thanks you with years of freedom and vitality.